You see, that's what I was talking as far as the various chapters which is available. This is the sort of similarity which has given more like a building, small building. You can take it as a tree over here, the roots over here, then there's a stem, there are branches, and there are boundaries, and thereafter there is a fruiting, good or bad, sweet or sour. So this I'll go step by step. There are 14 chapters, and ultimately the life aim, it starts from the nowhere consciousness and it goes to nowhere consciousness, because the concept is basically, as far as the human life is concerned, is illusionary, and it becomes illusionary. Recently, in last year December only, the three physicists has been given Nobel Prize on the concept of photon. This is in which way there are entangled photons, and entangled photons, they have relations from one to the another body. And that's all philosophy ultimately coming to the conclusion that this whole universe, multiverse is nothing but illusion. So I'm saying that I'm starting from the illusion, but going ultimately to the illusion. But this part of the illusion is very good, and this part of the illusion is life. So how we can improve on the life, what best we can get out of whatsoever is available with us. No one is having completeness, neither was complete and neither going to be like that. So as far as my initial chapters are concerned, I have made it in the sort of ground floor, or you can say basement, or more like roots. This tells us about the structure of that of the brain, the neurobiology of the brain. So you see, the brain is a really wonderful thing. It is comprising of something like trillions of cells, some maybe, and the connections are very high. 3 trillions of brain cells, and having maybe 200 trillion cells of connections, and each connection is having various type of neurohormones. Somebody is having, some neurohormone is having positive effect, some is having negative effect, and there are various type of offshoots. There are various type of connections, and they are going to be playing a real big quantum of energy continuously. I'm talking with you, so continuously you are conceptualizing the thing, and your brain is also active in that way. So ultimately, I have discussed in the first chapter basically the brain, mind, neurobiology, and relationship. And this all has come out of the consciousness. It is very difficult to define what is consciousness. Number of things is there. I have discussed in detail as far as the emergent theory is concerned. There are so many other type of theories is there. There is very sort of concept as far as this. So there are various sort of spiritual concept also as far as the consciousness is concerned. So what is consciousness? I think this is one of the part of the universal consciousness. Now, universal means whatsoever is subject to the proofs, or what can be shown, because otherwise we are not going to agree to that. But the proof is only limited, may it be visual proof, or this may be any type of proof. And that proof is only useful only when there is a memory. No, memory comes out like a plant. It sprouts out of consciousness, and there is a memory. I'll say there is a raw memory. This can be seen, you see, in the infant, and the memory even can be seen in the womb of the mother. As far as the consciousness is concerned, again, this can be seen in the womb of the mother. By the time the child, the fetus is something like 20 weeks in the mother's womb, there is going to be consciousness, and there is going to be some memory also that may not be stored in the conscious mind, but that will be stored in the subconscious mind. So all that has been discussed. And once there is a ultimately birth, and thereafter we have to be number of things. What? We have to be alert, we have to be vigilant, we have to be knowing the things, we have to learn the things, we have to learn the language, the system where we are, behavior, the emotions, the eating habits, then what is good, what is bad, decision. So intellect come in. And this is the awareness also. So awareness is very important, because all of us, we come to this world, and by, let's say, few months of age, no one of us is aware what we are doing, whether we are laughing, did we pinch somebody's nose, mother's nose, or father. We don't know that. We don't form any memory. So awareness comes later. It means it is a part of consciousness. So there is another seedling which is sprouting, is the awareness. Maybe one is memory. And then there is a very sort of perceptions. Now, perception is basically of two types. There is a dichotomy everywhere. Once we are going to see all these things, not in fact dichotomy, but there is a multiple connection, endless connections. So dichotomy, what I mean is there is awareness. Awareness of what? Awareness of self and surrounding. So that surrounding is okay, that this is a house, or this is a fruit, or this is something good, something bad. But as far as the awareness of self is concerned, it is very important. So unless we are aware of not there, as far as the self-awareness is concerned, this is again having dichotomy. So there are certain things about which we are aware about our own self. There are certain things of which we are not aware of our own awareness also, because that is coolly or silently put into the subconscious mind and lying over there for years and years and years together, and that creates the various sort of mindset, the various type of personality, attitude, behaviors, and pliability, or various type of personalities. So that all comes start from this. So this is basically, in a way, as far as the computer is concerned, this is more like a hardware. So this, you can say, there is a motherboard also, there is a CPU also, there is a RAM also, and they are having different capacity. One of the important thing as far as this thing is concerned, as far as the human brain is concerned, there are good number of type of various roots, and there are various type of connections. And the beauty is, as far as the various roots is concerned, the impulse velocity varies. So suppose if there are two roots, they are reciprocative to each other, but one is having faster root, another is having smaller root. For example, I'll give you an example. Let's say if there is a burn on the body, so we'll be able to see the burn first and know the sensation of burning, the pain later on. So this is what, by virtue of the speed of the impulse which generate into the various pathways, and that's what you can see it actually written in various part of the brain as far as my script is concerned. Now all these things, this hardware creates some sort of software. Now these 4 chapters, there I have tried to show it into the first floor, the first story or the second floor, you can say, in the way the first ground floor is the first floor, second floor. So this is there is thoughts, there are emotions. So where the thoughts are created, from where the emotions are created. Is this by virtue of coming in contact with the world outside, as far as the thoughts are concerned, or this is of its own? There is a lot of thing which has been discussed over here. Why there is some sort of thoughts which becomes important? Why Newton should have some sort of thought? Why the Archimedes should have some sort of thought, that there is a some philosophy as far as the swimming is concerned, or the ships are concerned. So how come there is a generation of thought? What are the various thoughts? What are the different types of thoughts? What are the good thoughts? What are bad thoughts? How we can check our thoughts? So all things are mentioned, discussed in a way so that we can be aware of all these things, and we can choose better positive thoughts, because ultimately thoughts is life. Because ultimately we have to convince ourselves once, twice, and have to do conditioning time and again that good thoughts are good thoughts, surely good thoughts, because good thoughts are going to create good vibes, good waves, and this is going to inculcate, are going to generate better branching, and going to create better emotion. Emotion and thought, they are glued together, and they work under various things like environment, like behavior, like some known, some unknown factors, and ultimately the data goes from through the conscious mind to the unconscious mind. Now unconscious mind or the subconscious mind is real great. See, people have written volumes on this as far as the subconscious mind is concerned, and there's so much of capacity lying over there. This takes care of your habits, this take care of your emotions, this take care of your beliefs, this takes care of, there's so much data lying over there. So the data, even in the womb of the mother, for example, otherwise also our data, I may be a person who is too much focused while driving the things. I am not looking right or left, or when I am talking to one of my patients, I am not judging that there is someone who is going to talk from right side or the left side. I am too much focused. But as far as the subconscious mind is concerned, this is accounting for all the data which is visible to us, or which is known to us, or there are some sound is. So any type of perception, as I said, it visual, maybe a touch, or the internal sensation, external sensation, and there is then development of the ego, and there are some ego mimickers also, like self-respect, like identity, like pride. There are so many types which has been amply discussed over here, and then what type of attitude and behavior this is going to lead. So this is again more like a software, and this is the hardware, this is the software, and then we comes the, as far as the apps are concerned. No, the hardware is necessary. Software cannot work on that. Mind cannot be there unless there is a brain. So we are having brain, the king, the prime minister, and then there is the army. The army is the apps. Now you can see the brain in making. So what are various types, what are the characteristics of the brain, and what are the various offshoots as far as the brain is concerned, various type of mindset. And then there comes the various type of turbulence. We know something for good, and we know something to get into bad or entrapped bad. But there is a, as far as the good thing is concerned, there is a creation, there is self-evolution. We live in relations, we live for our own gratifications, we live for our own hobbies, we live for our own good doings. And but at the same time, as I said, pros and cons, and the cons are there is anxiety, there is a fear. We live in fear of everything. As and when we start loving our own self too much, so there is a fear, there is anxiety, there is stress. And in case that things are not fulfilled in the right perspective, then there is anger. Why? And the anger generates betrayal, because they definitely want, as far as the needs or greeds or the other things are concerned, that needs to be fulfilled at no cost. And this generates bad thing, negative thoughts. This generates antisocial behavior. So this all is discussed over here. And ultimately, you see, the hardware, the software, the apps, you want to garnish it. As I just said, as far as what you want to have yoga, or you want to have meditation, in which you want to go. But before that, so many times, have not we asked, who am I? Why am I? What I'm supposed to do over here? If we are going to talk of Bill Gates, if we are going to talk of Steve Jobs, you see, he was the person who defined the humanity. I'll say that's the very purpose of humanity. That is the very purpose of coming over here. It is not like Steve Jobs. It's not the name, but it's a philosophy. I will say this sort of person, this is not one person. There are maybe thousands and thousands of persons who have decorated this earth with beautiful things. And that's what the purpose of living, that's what the purpose of coming to this planet. So, one need to know about the philosophy of life, human development, communication skills, and various things, from intellect to intelligence to wisdom, spiritual wisdom, and then to the knowledge, application of the intelligence. And then we have to know about our own existence, the purpose of life. And if we want to have, we cannot take everything for granted. No one can take the things for granted, irrespective of the status of the money. I don't think even the president of United States of America will be able to buy even a small city anywhere in the world. So ultimately, we have to surrender. We have to watch our own limitation, our boundaries, so that we are the best fit or mix to carry on our show as far as our life is concerned till the last day. And ultimately, to make the things best possible. So this was first floor, ground floor, first, second, third floor, and the fourth floor. The fourth floor is where there is a real diamond lying over there. Somehow I have discussed this, I have written this book also, but majority of the people fall into this. They don't want to get into this. I'll say maybe 1 out of 100 come to this, or maybe even less. But this is one thing which is very good. Unless you really taste a buffet, you cannot see the taste. So unless you have gone into this particular philosophy of life, you cannot really foresee how much bliss, the solace, the contentment which is lying over there. So this is a way wherein we are having the total reign of your own life, maybe your physical life, your mental life, or your social life, or any type of life is concerned. The reign comes in your hand. You will like to shed off your weight, you're obese, you will be able to do that. You want to have a good immunity, you will be able to have that. You want to have a quick sleep, you will have. You don't want to have a disturbed sleep, you will have from this. So this has been amply discussed in this book. So basically these are the 14 chapters, and it has been started from the basics ultimately to the function, and ultimately to the garnishing, to make the things real positive. So this has been divided into 2 volumes.
So as we can see, to make it easier for the viewers and also to get an overview of the book, Dr. Bansal has given a very good sequential and systematic representation of all the chapters. So these chapters, these 14 chapters will be divided into the two volumes that readers can read.
Yes, why 2 volumes? Somebody asked me, and I must explain that. So you see, there are all sort of person. There are different type of person. I have also come across during my medical practice, or otherwise also as a social living being. There are persons who are casual. They are easygoing. They do not bother what is going around. They just want their things to be fulfilled immediately. So for them, the second volume will be good, of course, because they just want fruiting and they do not want to go why, when, and how much, what should be there. But there are certain person who are having, I think there are a good number of person who are having inquisitiveness of knowing what is what, why this is happening to me, why not to somebody else, why God is not kind to me, why there is a destiny which is carrying to destiny, karma, or various type of gunas or attributes as far as the nature is concerned, or the type of food is concerned, the type of habits person is going to form, or the type of liking is one is going to form, or one is going to change from the closed mindset to the open mindset, which way the things work out better. Because all these things are good in case we are going to read both the volumes. Otherwise, as far as the first volume is concerned, this is going to tell you the basics of the living is concerned, the basic of our brain is concerned, mind is concerned, and in which way it works, why it goes wrong, when it goes wrong, what are its repercussions, in which way this is going to present itself. So, for why there is a anger, why there is a disbelief, why one lie, why there is a greed, why there are wars, why there is a sort of revenge and jealousy and some sort of unwanted maybe serial killings or rapes and antisocial activities, psychopathy. So all these things one can go as far as the gist is concerned in the initial volume 1, because this is the cause, this is the underroot, this is the root value. But as far as the second part is concerned, over there you are going to know the more the types, the different types, and in which way they are going to present, in which way we are going to take step to make our own recipe. Because I think the both are good, they are both are useful in case they are taken together. But it's okay in case someone wants a shortcut, good enough, goes for the second volume. Want to go thorough, should be having both the things, volume 1 as well as volume 2.
So how many chapters have been covered in the volume 1 and how many chapters are there in volume 2?
Yeah, this is about 50-50. There's 7 chapters, 7 or 8 chapters in volume 1 and 7 or 8 chapters in volume 2. This is going to be available, as I said earlier, both in printed form as well as in digital form, and of course on Kindle or Amazon. This is what I am speculating. And I feel because as far as these types of reading is concerned, as I told you earlier, it's not an entertainment reading. So it's nothing like that that I'm exhausted for the whole day. I want some sort of let outs and I like to do some jokes and some entertainment. It's not. It's a valued book. It's a book of values, and it's very rich as far as the scientific content is concerned. And it is surely going to make a good, definitely good something out of you, each of you. Yeah, this is what I'm sure about it.
Thank you so much for explaining that to us, sir.